The purpose of this study was to explore whether or not prior knowledge strategies improve reading comprehension in a ninth grade English classroom. And I have that here on my slide also. Well, prior knowledge strategies improve reading comprehension. That's what I set out to find out. This study will benefit teachers by providing the results from activating and engaging students with strategies before reading. One reason I chose to conduct this research on prior reading strategies is because I need to be able to apply these strategies and create a success for the student. If it proves to be effective, the outcome of this research may possibly promote higher level thinking for students. And that is vital in coming to a productive result for reading comprehension. The ultimate goal of this is to teach to full potential and be the best that I can be in presenting these strategies, and also have students reach their full potential in engaging in these strategies. And by doing that, both the student and the teacher will achieve their goals. When we activate prior knowledge, the students will do things such as think about in their mind before reading, what do I already know about this topic? Have I read about this topic before? And have I seen this topic on television or maybe in a movie? So it gets them thinking about what they can relate this to. What prior knowledge do they already have on this concept or this text? When doing this project, I looked at many pieces of literature and research, and many studies have been done on this that also share the same opinion as I do, that in fact I think prior knowledge strategies will help students before they start reading, so they can connect themselves to something that relates to text. Research on prior knowledge activation has consistently shown that activating a learner's prior knowledge has beneficial effects on learning. If learners activate their prior knowledge, this activated knowledge serves as a framework for establishing relationships between the knowledge they already know and the information provided to them. Results from research have shown that activating prior metacognitive knowledge has a beneficial effect on text comprehension. Metacognitive knowledge needs to be activated in order for students to make better use of this knowledge. So they will take the metacognitive knowledge that they know, and they will build on that to make references about what they already know to the text that they are reading. Students need to always be aware of their individual thinking skills before reading the text. The thinking that the student does depends on their own experiences. Good readers use metacognitive strategies to think about and have control over their reading. These strategies should make students notice the background knowledge that is already activated and make them aware of any connections that can be related to their own lives and what they have already seen. So again, the ultimate goal is the student reaches their full potential. Both student and teacher each reach goal satisfaction. Some examples of some of the things that I did for these strategies included graphic organizers. They can be used to connect prior knowledge and distinguish between essential and non-essential information. Another strategy that was used was comprehension questions. Those were used to introduce concepts before the reading begins. Using these comprehension questions will allow teachers to monitor student comprehension before reading the text and determine whether or not the student can identify prior knowledge and respond to the question. And students, once they can master these prior reading strategies, it will not only be helpful and useful in the classroom, but they can use these strategies, take them with them, and use them with anything that they do. Daily activities, when they go on to higher learning and thinking skills and so on. So it's something they can take beyond the classroom. Another thing that I looked at was metacognition. Metacognitive strategies include students noticing background knowledge that is activated and a student being aware of connections related to their own lives and texts that they have read. And I also looked at the schema theory. And within that, we also see again the metacognition aspect of it, which is actually broke down into two categories. The first one being reflection, which is thinking about what we know, and self-regulation, managing how we go about learning. And when we add schema in there, we can see that schema is text that is understood according to a reader's world knowledge. And their knowledge is altered when the reader encounters new information. So they take the knowledge they have already learned or know that is worldly, and they apply that to new text that they are reading, or when they encounter new information. They apply that. So I want to tell you just a little bit about the procedures that I went through as I did this research project. I first collected different forms of data and acted as a participant observer by working with students in a small group. I provided the students with pre-reading strategies before reading. During the previewing vocabulary strategy, students participated in a writing activity. After this, I collected the data and used it to analyze if this reading strategy improved their comprehension of the text, recorded the results, and also had them participate in textbook feature strategy, which each student looked at the cover of a book, pictures, or a chart, or sections of a book that contain the text to be read to help activate their prior knowledge. After collecting the data, it was necessary to organize the data, so I typed up all of my field notes and analyzed all of that data. I then scored the comprehension quizzes pertaining to the text.